Morning dear children, welcome back. This video is for class 10 science, chapter number 8, how do organisms reproduce, and this is lecture number 5. So dear children, in previous lecture we have studied about the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. In today's lecture we are going to see the following topics. We will start with the sexual reproduction in human beings today, under which we will understand the sex organs and the need of sexual maturity. Another topic that we are going to study today is male reproductive system. So today we will understand that what are the different sex organs and why there is a need of sexual maturity in humans, and we will understand the male reproductive system in detail. So children, as we are aware of that as the human beings grow, their body gains weight, height, and there are so many other growth processes which happens. But after a certain time, what happens that the growth of the body parts or various activities slows down. So why does it happen? There is a reason behind it, that humans, they are an advanced multicellular organism, and as we know that advanced multicellular organisms, they are having highly organized systematic cell organization in their body. That means there are a group of cells working for a particular purpose. So, if we talk about the reproduction, here there must be a specific reproductive organ, or there must be a group of cells which is doing the reproduction in the human beings. Humans are unisexual organisms. That means one human is having a one sex cell present in it, and it will combine or it will join with other unisexual organism opposite to its sex cell, and it will combine with that gamete so that it can reproduce further. So humans, there are males and females. The growth takes place in both starting from the birth, but at the age of 13 to 14 years in the males, there is a slowdown in the process of growth, and in females the age is 10 to 11 years. This age is called as puberty, or this stage in their life or growth process is called as puberty. So children, if we define puberty, then we can say that puberty is the period of maturation of reproductive organs and production of sex hormones. That means it is the age period when the reproductive organs, they start maturing and there is a production of sex hormones as well. So at the puberty, there are some common changes in male and females. There are growth of hair in armpits or underarms and genital area. Genital area is the area where sex organs are present. Then darkening of genital area also takes place. Along with this, appearance of hairs on legs, arms and face. Skin becomes oily, because of which pimples, they occur very often. Becoming the body conscious, that at this age group, male and female, they both become body conscious about their own body, and they do have a different perspective to see others' body as well. Above discussed were the common changes in the males and females both at the onset of the puberty. Onset means start. But here are some specific changes which occur in males and females. So first we have the changes that are happening in the boys or males. So here enlargement of larynx and voice becomes heavy. Mustaches and beard start appearing on the face. Body becomes muscular. Chest and shoulder become broad. Penis occasionally becomes enlarged and erect. Sperm production starts. So all these are the changes which do not happen instantly, but these changes take place slowly with the time. And it is also not compulsory, or it is not fixed that at what particular age in boys these changes will occur, because for different individuals the changes can start a little later or at an early stage. So as I told you that at onset of puberty the reproductive organs, they start maturing along with the secretion of sex hormones in that body. So all the above mentioned changes are due to the male sex hormone, which is testosterone, and it is produced by the testis, which is one of the part of male reproductive system. Here we have some specific changes which occur in girls or females. Voice becomes high-pitched. Enlargement of mammary glands or breast and fallopian tube along with uterus and vagina occurs. So enlargement in all these parts of the female body occurs at the onset of puberty. Broadening of pelvis occurs. Fat deposition on thighs and hips also happens. Onset of menstruation occurs. Menstruation cycle starts at the starting of puberty. Ovaries start releasing eggs. So all these changes occur due to the female sex hormones, which are progesterone and estrogen from the ovaries. Now we have an important term, as we have heard of adult word. So from the word adult, another term comes adolescence. What do you mean by adolescence? So it is the time period between the onset of puberty and the achievement of complete sexual maturity. This time period between the starting of the puberty, that means from the time when the specific changes regarding reproduction comes in the males and females, till the complete sexual maturity, that time period is called as adolescence period. Now let us talk about sex organs. So it's a complete system in the males and females both, which is doing the reproduction. So here in the males we have two different kinds of sex organs: primary sex organs and secondary sex organs. So primary, here we have the example of testis. Why it is called as primary sex organ? Because it produces the male gametes or germ cells. Secondary sex organs are the one which help or which facilitates the process of reproduction, and they are helping the primary organs to reproduce. So here we have the examples of seminal vesicle, prostate gland and penis. In females, the same system is here, that primary and secondary sex organs are present. In primary, we have example of ovaries, which generate the female gamete or egg, or it is also called as ova. Here in the secondary sex organs, we have the examples of fallopian tube and uterus. Here in the body of male and female, some parts are there which we call as special sex organs. So here in the male it is penis, and in female it is uterus and breast. We will understand why they are called as special organs later. So let us discuss the differences between the primary sex organs and secondary sex organs. We know that primary sex organs, they produce gametes, whereas secondary sex organs, they help to transport and nourish the gamete, or they are helping the primary sex organs to reproduce. Here, the primary sex organs, along with the production of sex cells, they also produce sex hormones. But here, they do not secrete hormones. Although some kind of liquids are secreted, but they are with some purpose, or to facilitate the working of primary sex organs, these are secreting some fluids. Here in the primary sex organs, we have example of testes and ovaries in male and female respectively. Here we have the examples of uterus as secondary sex organ in female and seminal vesicle in the males. So our next topic is male reproductive system. We all know that just like we have studied the sexual reproduction in flowering plants, we know there is one male sex gamete and one female sex gamete. Then fusion of the two occurs and hence there is a fertilized egg formed or zygote is formed. So then next what happens, zygote is growing further and it will be forming a seed in the case of flowers, but here in the case of humans it will form a baby. So here the male sex cell or male gamete is called as sperm or spermatozoa. It is also called as male gamete. There are two parts mainly in male reproductive system. One which produces the male sex cell, another which helps in transportation and nourishment of the sex cell. So here the production is done by the testes and delivery, transportation and nourishment are done with the help of the parts called as epididymis, vasa differentia, seminal vesicle, prostate gland, Cowper's gland and penis. We will understand them each one by one, but let us see how they are organized in the male body. Dear children, here we have the figure for human male reproductive system. It is the diagram from your NCERT book at page number 137, figure number 8.10. So children, let us have a look on all the parts and how they are arranged here. Then later we will understand the functioning of each part. So here, as we see that here is the first part that we named was testis. Testis is a oval shaped part which is kept outside the body of the male system or male body. This part is called as secretum. Here you are able to see that this tube-like structure is called as vas differentia. This is testis, which does the function of male sex gamete production as well as the hormone production. Then you will find that this vas differens is going here in the abdomen of the male body and it is going behind the bladder and it is joining the seminal vesicle, which is a gland here. And what is the purpose of being here? That we will understand later. But here what is happening? That the seminal duct, this tube-like structure, and the vas differens, that both the tube-like structures are combining together here and then they are passing through the prostate gland. Prostate gland is a bilobed gland which you are seeing as a dark color here, and here from here the bladder passage is also passing, the seminal vesicle duct and the vas deferens which have combined. So all these combine together and form a common passage here. So the fluid of the prostate gland or the hormone, that will also be secreted in the same passage, and the fluids which are there in the vas deferens and the seminal vesicle, they are also secreted in the same tube. So now there is a common passage for all these fluids. They come here, and here we have the urethra, which is used to excrete the urine from the body. It is present in the penis, and this tubular structure becomes, this urethra becomes a common passage for the ejaculation of urine. Ejaculation is a process in which the semen is what? Semen is having the male sex cells in it, and it is having some extra fluids in it, which is seminal vesicle fluid. Along with that, it is also having the prostate gland hormone in it. So they all are excreted out of the body through the urethra. So here we have the idea that we have a common passage for the semen and urine. Here we have the prostate gland, which is a bilobed gland, seminal vesicle, vas deferens, testis. Then here we have, I'll be telling you a name which is called as epididymes. This portion that you are able to see here is called the epididyme, which is not being mentioned here, but we will understand what is the purpose of this part being here. So now we have idea that what are the various parts and how they are arranged in the male reproductive system. Now let us understand the function of each part one by one. So the first part and very important part is testis. So dear children, testis are the primary male sex organ which produce sperm and male sex hormone, which is testosterone. Actually, testes are a pair of oval-shaped organs located outside the abdominal cavity in a sac-like structure called scrotum. So children, scrotum is a bag-like structure and it is having a structure of bilobed shape. What is the purpose of having a scrotum outside the body of the male? It is the reason that sperms, which are the male sex cells, they are only produced at a particular temperature, and the scrotum should be at a lower temperature than that of the body. Only then it can produce sperms. So that's why scrotum is present outside the male body. And the scrotum is having the, first we have the outer covering, which is called the scrotum. Then we have the testis, which is doing the function of producing the male sperm cells, and along with that it is also producing the sex hormones. So here inside the testis there are numerous compartments like this, which produce the male sex cells along with the male sex hormones, and they give their secretion into numerous tubule structures. Then all these tubular structures, they combine together and then they secrete their combined fluid into the epididymes. So here, this portion that you see here is the epididymes. What is the purpose of it? That it takes up the secretion from the tubular structures from the testis, and it stores the sperm cells here. And it can store it here for 2-3 days because there are millions and trillions of sperms produced daily. So that's why this is a storage space which will give these sperms and hormones further. So from here itself, one tubular structure starts which goes in the abdominal cavity, and this is called as vas deferens or sperm duct. Sperm duct means sperm tube which carries the sperms. So here the process of forming or generating sperms inside the testis is called the spermatogenesis. Now let us see what is the shape of a sperm. So here we have the diagram for the sperm. So this is the structure of a male sex gamete or sperm. It is having actually 3 parts in it. As you are able to see here, this part is its head, and here we have a lining of a membrane like structure which is called as acrosome, because of which it is able to penetrate or to move with a very high speed towards the egg. This is its nucleus, it is its head, and this portion is its middle piece, and it is containing so many of mitochondria in it so that it will get the energy to move further in the female's body. This tail is the last part of it, and with the help of this tail or flagella, the sperm is able to move very fast and very rapid. Children, there is one thing to notice, that sperms are highly motile. They remain alive in female genital passage for a few days, but their fertilizing power is limited to 1 or 2 days only. Spermatogenesis, the process of forming or generating or producing sperms. It is a continuous process. That means from the onset of puberty, the spermatogenesis keeps on preparing these sperms. So in a day, thousands, or you can say even more than that, millions of sperms are produced every day. But temperature above 40 degree inhibits the process. And what about the sex hormone which is produced here with the help of testis? The sex hormone is testosterone here, and the function of testosterone is helping in the formation of sex cell or sperm and the development of male secondary sex characteristics. So the second part is epididymis. Here in the diagram I told you that epididymis is the space where the sperm fluid is stored. So each testis contains several small coiled tubes. So these are, each testis is having one. I told you there are 2 pair of testis present. And all these tubes of one testis open up into a large tube which sperm cell leave the testis, through which the sperm cell they leave the testis. So from both the lobes of the testis, the tubular structures, they are opening up into the epididymis, and they are giving the sperms to the sperm tube. So this mass of coils that has formed here is called the epididymis. It is about 4 to 6 meters long tube. The sperm cells may remain temporarily stored here in the epididymis. The lower end of each epididymis is joined to a tube or duct which is called as vas deferens, or it is also called as seminal duct or sperm duct. Then the next part would be the sperm duct or vasa differentia. Vasa differentia is the singular form. Vas deferens, as I shown you in the diagram, was the plural form. So here we have a pair of muscular tube-like structures that arise from the epididymis. It is about 30 centimeter long and it ascends in the abdomen and joins the tube coming out from the urinary bladder or urethra. So the combined passage becomes the urethra. Then urethra forms the common passage for sperm and urine both. And the terminal portion of each vas deferens enlarges to form the contractile ejaculated duct that is there in the penis. So children, I was telling you about vasa differentia. Here you will find that vas differentia is this sperm duct which is starting from the bottom portion of epididymis. Then fourth part is seminal vesicle. So seminal vesicle, in the diagram here we have the seminal vesicle. It is having its duct, seminal duct, which is combining with the vas deferens, and then it is going into the prostate gland. So here is this bilobed portion is called the prostate gland. It also secretes its fluid or hormone into the same common passage. So from here, this combination of two ducts is combining with the urinary bladder, its duct. So now we have a common passage. What is the role of seminal vesicle? Seminal vesicle secretes a fluid which makes the sperm active. After the sperm duct unite with the urethra here, the combined channel first passes through a gland which is called as prostate gland. So this would be the prostate gland. Then we have the prostate gland, which is the next part of ours, and this gland secretes a white, thick, milky secretion which is alkaline in nature, and its purpose is also to make the fluid coming from the seminal vesicle and the sperm duct together. The function of prostate gland is to make this fluid alkaline. Alkaline means having a pH greater than 7. So, because the alkaline medium, it helps the sperm to be more motile or more active. The next part is Cowper's gland. So children, Cowper's gland is having nothing to do with the prostate gland and seminal vesicle. It is here. You will see, you will find the Cowper's gland here. It is attached to the urethra. You will find it here that it is attached to the urethra. It is just a little below the prostate gland, and the secretion of Cowper's gland and prostate gland both, they make the environment suitable for sperm survival in the urethra. So we have seen that what is the purpose of the fluid which is coming from the prostate gland? To make the fluid coming from the seminal vesicle and the sperm duct together, the prostate gland makes it alkaline. What is the purpose of Cowper's gland? Cowper's gland secretes a fluid which is helping to lubricate the passage of the penis, and it is also lubricating. It is a lubricating fluid which comes from the Cowper gland. So what is the function of it? That whenever this part, penis, will ejaculate the semen or the male sperm fluid into the female reproductive part, then this lubricating fluid will help the process to happen easily. Then the last part is penis. So children, this figure that you are seeing here in the diagram is called the penis. It is having urethra in it. So urethra is a common passage for semen and the urine as well. Penis is a thick muscular organ. It hangs in front of the testis. It contains spongy tissues surrounding the urethra. So these are the spongy tissues which surrounds the urethra, and a layer of skin outside. So this is the skin. The penis is richly supplied with blood. The function of penis is discharge of urine, ejection and deposition of semen in the genital tract of female. So the penis is here to deliver the urine, to excrete the urine out of the body. Along with that, it also delivers the semen and into the female genital area. So I was telling you a name that is called as semen. What is semen actually? Semen is the secretion of epididymis, seminal vesicle and the prostate gland together. These are called as semen. So semen is finally the fluid which is ejaculated or ejected out with the help of penis from the male body to the female genital area through its vagina. So children, I hope you have understood the male reproductive system completely. This is it for today's lecture. In next lecture, we will understand the female reproductive system. So till then, take care and goodbye.